In this portion of my interview with Terri Tomlinson, the creator of the Flesh Tone Color Wheel, she's giving us all different kinds of makeup artist advice, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. Makeup artist advice time.
Okay.
This is a 30-year veteran of makeup artistry.
I'm on the hot seat.
No, absolutely. I want to know everything. Let's start with how the industry has changed since you first got into it.
Well, it's changed in huge ways, and there are many, many ways it's changed. The few that I think are really, really significant is that when I started in makeup artistry outside of the retail kind of venues, it was something very secretive. Makeup artists did not know each other. They very rarely worked together, and you did not know what a makeup artist did. So it wasn't a career that people were aware of. You know, there was no visibility. We wore all black because we worked behind stage. And so when I kind of broke into the production side of makeup, there was no community. Mm-hmm. We did our thing. We did not share much. We never told each other who we were working for.
Wow.
And people on the outside never knew what I did. They didn't understand what a catalog shoot was or what a commercial print job was. And when I would show them the finished picture, like I'd be like, hey, I did that billboard. People didn't really understand what I did.
Huh.
So the visibility factor has been huge. I mean, everybody understands what makeup artists do now. Makeup artists have become celebrities in their own right.
Right.
We're all on social media trying to say, hire me, look how great I am.
Yeah.
And, so that has been a huge shift, a huge change. When I started, we didn't have HD, so pre-HD. So before high definition cameras came out, and before everybody was shooting digitally, we'd be on a job and we would shoot Polaroids. And then the Polaroids would get sent to the client. If the client wasn't on site, maybe they would get faxed or emailed, and we'd wait until the Polaroids got approved. But we were looking at tiny little images to make sure our hair and makeup was okay. Sometimes you didn't even get a Polaroid. And so everything had to be very still and very perfect. So things like hot spots and flyaways that we take for granted now, that if it's too strong, we'll just fix them in post. Right. We could not do that. You had to be so much more specific, but there were things you just could not get away with. So that's totally changed.
Wow.
And we're so spoiled now.
Yeah.
Right? You can have luminosity on the skin. You can have sweat if you want to, and you light it right.
Okay, so during your career, what keeps you excited about makeup? How do you just stay motivated, stay with the trends, all of that?
I don't think that I'm super up on trends. I think other people do a better job of that. But I stay very motivated in this industry by being more community involved. The more makeup artists I meet and talk to, the more excited I get about what we all do. And I think also I feel like I need to kind of preserve what real makeup artistry is. Mm-hmm. And so the old school skill, the highlight and shadow, the fundamentals of color theory, brushwork and techniques like that, those things really excite me. And I love sharing them because we're in this weird place in the business now where there's like the industry, and then there's all these other areas where you can work as a makeup artist. And there are people who are huge influencers who maybe aren't even makeup artists, but they have a stake in the makeup game. And so I feel like I get really excited when I think of kind of the old school methods that we in the industry still have to utilize.
Yeah.
And just sharing those with as many people as I can.
Yeah. I love that you touched on community, because when I was getting in the industry in 2012, I watched your video.
You did?
Talking about what was in your set bag, like what you carried.
Oh, that giant duffel?
Yes.
I love that duffel. I still have it.
Oh, that's hilarious. And it's so funny because you were one of the only people on YouTube talking about a production makeup artist, because you specifically said production, and I was like, huh.
Right, production.
I know, I was like, wait a minute.
See, that is still a good video.
It is still a good video. I'm going to link it in the description box.
It really is. Although my kit's not nearly that big anymore. It was huge back then.
We need to do an update.
Okay,
yeah,
we should.
That sounds good. So as a teacher, you've seen a lot of students. What are some of the biggest mistakes that young makeup artists make?
I think the biggest mistake I see with young makeup artists is that they don't understand what longevity means in a career. And it's hard when you're passionate and you want it now to stay focused when you don't get it now. And I was in this industry for years before I was making enough money to be like an adult. And it took me forever to get my portfolio together and to get a reputation where people will actually pay to take my classes. And so you have to really look at the long game. And I know we have this instant gratification thing with our phones and our Google and our series, but if you really want a career, any career, you've got to put in the time. You can't take a 3-hour class and then start teaching people how to do makeup. You're never going to last because you don't have the experience and the body of work to be your foundation.
Wow.
So I think they've got to see it for the long haul. Like, I'm going to be in this for 10 years or 20 years, or at least 2 or 3 years.
Right. I love that answer.
It's so
I was
true,
not
though,
expecting
right?
that. Yes. Absolutely. Wowzers. One thing too that is really great about what you teach in the studio and beyond is the business aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Of stuff. Because I think initially when we decide we want to be a makeup artist or when we fall into this industry, it's like, ooh, color, and just like...
And we're like, it's so fun.
Exactly.
It's so fun.
Exactly. And then you get hit in the face.
Yeah.
I'm sure any makeup artist would agree, whether it be taxes or, client relations. I mean, business will hit you in the face.
Oh, yes. It will. And this is the kind of business, career, industry, whatever you want to call it. It takes a thick skin. Somebody is going to be mean to you. You've got to roll with those punches and get bigger and better.
It's easy as now, especially with social media, to pretend like you're this perfect makeup artist and that nothing is getting you down or anything like that. And that's one thing that I wanted to use my channel because, I mean, I haven't been in this industry 30 years. Like, I want to be in this industry for 30 years. And, I do think you can learn something from everyone. And also, I want to talk about, when you don't get a job, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. And, I want to talk about mistakes that I've made because I've definitely made mistakes. And it's, it's learning and, like you were talking about before, just that longevity.
Oh, yeah. You've got to roll with the punches.
I love how community is so important to you. What has the makeup industry taught you?
Well, the more makeup artists you know, and the more generous and kind you are to the people that do what you do, the longer I think your career is going to last. When I started in the production side of things, there was so much competition, and it's hard to climb the ladder when you're the only one on the ladder and you're trying to kick anybody else off of the ladder. But if you're all on the ladder together, then you can push each other up, And so, and I have had such great success since I've become more known to other makeup artists. And I love this community. Oh my God, the most amazing people do what we do. And I meet amazing people all the time, and I'm super inspired by other makeup artists and what they do. And none of us know it all, and none of us will ever know it all because it's an art form. So there's always going to be a piece of us that expresses into our makeup that makes it uniquely us. And so I just think it's super exciting.
I just got chills.
I know.
I know.
I might cry.
I love it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you want more information on the Terri Tomlinson Makeup Studio or the Blush Tone Color Wheel, I'm going to link all of it in the description box below. Definitely don't forget to check out the other parts of this interview, which I'll link on the screen now. And as always, if you want more tips and tricks, they're on Facebook and Instagram at Makeup by Shannon Marie. Hope you all have a great week, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.